So when I first started like studying, I didn't really even know what I was doing. And as a project manager, I'm just running the schedule, talking to the subs and the homeowner. I didn't really know much about the code because I was just a superintendent under our vice president. So I had just I was like, I'm just gonna take the test, not even study, see how it goes. And I think I got a 47%. And I was like, man, it's gonna be a lot harder than I thought. So I had no idea what I was doing, and I had actually purchased a whole nother curriculum, but it was like not very helpful. It was definitely not interactive like Contractor ever is. It was just like, here's these practice questions, here's this practice exam, good luck. So it didn't really, there was no way for you to, autocorrect, this is what you're doing wrong, this is where you're at, this is how we need to get here. And that's what really took me the longest. I feel like if I would have went to Contractor Army first, man, my time for preparing would have been fractional.
As you can see, ain't no stopping us. Best in the city, we can build a house. If you can dream it, we can help you out. Contractor MB, know the best in town. Contractors messing with us, say we go crazy. Drywallers, electricians.
All right, we here today, and this is a special moment for me, but not only me. We here with Jack. He just passed his exam, and I really wanted him to share his experience, not with just Contractor Envy, but how the journey has been for him to overcome this goal that he set. When did you set this goal, Jack?
Probably maybe close to a year and a half ago, probably.
Look at that, a year and a half ago, and now has finally passed the exam. So today we're going to hear his side of the story and actually celebrate this win. All right. So Jack, introduce yourself. Who are you and where are you from?
So my name's Jack. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And for the last 3 years, I've been working as a project manager for a custom home builder. So
What was your purpose behind pursuing this license?
a few reasons. I definitely wanted a backup plan in case things didn't work out with the home building company. So I knew that my building contractor's license would definitely be a good backup plan in case things kind of went south, for me to either do my own thing or just to be able to use it as a great credential in getting a new job. And then I also, I'm fortunate enough to also be able to do side projects within my company. So I'm pretty young and I have some extra time in the evenings and on the weekends. So me and one of my other coworkers were looking to have an avenue to do smaller remodel projects that are much smaller than the houses we're building, but still be able to make some side cash and bring really good quality remodeling to a market that doesn't quite see that.
What kind of license did you pursue?
So I got the F12 Class B building contractor's license.
So that's commercial and residential.
Yep. So
if I had a clapping thing right now, that's like
yeah.
you cheering, bro. That's a big accomplishment because you had two of the most hardest code books there is. And so tell us some strategies that you implemented to actually get through that process.
Yeah. So when I first started like studying, I didn't really even know what I was doing. And as a project manager, I'm just running the schedule, talking to the subs and the homeowner. I didn't really know much about the code because I was just a superintendent under our vice president. So I had just I was like, I'm just going to take the test, not even study, see how it goes. And I think I got a 47%. And I was like, man, it's going to be a lot harder than I thought. So I had no idea what I was doing. And I had actually purchased a whole nother curriculum, but it was like not very helpful. It was definitely not interactive like Contractor ever is. It was just like, here's these practice questions, here's this practice exam, good luck. So it didn't really, there was no way for you to, autocorrect, this is what you're doing wrong. This is where you're at. This is how we need to get here. And that's what really took me the longest. I feel like if I would have went to Contractor Army first, man, my time for preparing would have been fractional. And I think that non-interactive curriculum that I first purchased just made it super discouraging. And it was like, man, I just don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get this done. But the frame it method definitely helps. And for me personally, it was dependent on the question in terms of whether I would start in the index or the table of contents. Because there are some chapters that you're more familiar with. And once those keywords start to become more familiar with you, like a stairway, you kind of start to know more. Okay, I know that's in egress. Now I just need to find stairways within egress. So, but the index is super helpful. And I tended to start in the IBC first, just considering that it was a commercial and residential license that half the time they were actually asking, according to the IBC, blank, blank, blank. So
when you were in there taking this exam last week, I believe it was, did you ever kind of lose focus of the strategy and have to bring yourself back?
Yeah, definitely. I could feel whenever I would kind of, emotion would get high and I'm like, man, I just cannot find this one question, because there are questions that are like just pretty difficult. They're trying to test you. And I kind of just remembered the 3-minute time cap. I would always try to make sure I was on track by going through, and I know this probably wastes a little bit more time, but I personally did go through and divide the amount of questions I had by the time. So, and I was kind of right on that 3.1 time range of just keeping myself moving. So whenever I got frustrated, I would look at the time and I would just be like, all right, I got to flag it, come back to it. So, and I probably had 10 questions flagged by the time I was done, that I had an extra 20 minutes to go back through and double check and get an answer for it.
If you're loving this interview and you want to learn more about how you can get your general contractor license, then go ahead and comment below. Definitely join the community if you're not already in it, and just ask, how do I get started? And we will help you every step of the way to getting your license. So thank you for watching this interview. Let's get back into it.
That's very important that you even shared that part, is that, you were dividing the time of what you had left, correct? Yeah. And just, keeping your eye on that and saying, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and die 5 minutes in on a question. Right. I'm really going to stick to my time management, because that's key, right? Mm-hmm. So now you got this license, right? And what did you do after you got it? How did you celebrate?
Yeah. Definitely was sharing with family and friends. My first call was one of my boss, actually, who just encouraged me to get this license. He's the license holder at the company I work for. So that was just super exciting. I was super nervous to look at the results, because I actually had come back to my books in the testing center and they were face down after I got all of my keys and stuff. And I was like, oh man, I don't even want to look at it. But so I was super amped, and I was actually sharing a meal with my grandparents, and I kind of just did something special for them and put my results in an envelope, and they opened it. And my grandpa, he owns his own contracting business, and he was just crying, just super proud of me, knowing that I wanted to do this for a while and just kind of continuing the family construction, not business, but within the same industry. So he was proud of that.
It's legacy, bro. I hear that there was a lot of importance or value to this, right? Like when you set that goal out 1.5 years ago, there was a purpose to it. It wasn't just, I'm about to get a license just to get it. It's like, man, I'm carrying on a family legacy. I'm enhancing my career. And now you have accomplished that goal. So again, I'm just rooting, bro, because I know this next chapter for you still going to be challenging, but Man, it's time to flip to the next chapter because you spent some time studying, bro.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I have a few people in my family that are excited that I'm done studying so I can stop talking about it. So
share that too, like mindset. What was the mindset you have to shift to in order to accomplish this goal?
yeah, for me, it was really just like I'm a very goal-oriented person, and I'm trying to either like learn guitar or get a new fitness goal or something else. And I think for me, I was just really trying to lock into, if I can really just dive into, I think when me and Kevin started, it was the 60 days. We were like, hey, I really want to get this done in 60 days. And he was confident from the get-go. So that was encouraging for me to just be, like, all right, I'm gonna lock in with Kevin. We're gonna get it done. And really, as we just started the program, like it was even going through the IRC and knowing how a house is built, and like him explaining, it's literally just how a house is built, from building planning, foundation, walls, roof. Like that was even as simple as that, like tip was, it was like super helpful for me to know that. So that was just encouraging, and like that built momentum for me. But yeah, I definitely had to say no to a lot of hangouts in the last 60 days just to get things done, and spend less time with my girlfriend, things like that, just to lock in. And yeah.
Well, it's Friday, so I hope you really get a chance to celebrate again this weekend. Now, like I told you, you got to be safe. Be safe, right?
Right.
But as we close this out, what kind of encouraging words would you share with those who are seeking to get their license, or maybe stuck in the study, right, and just trying to figure out what to do?
I would just say continue to, if you're closer to getting through the curriculum, just keep reading through the table of contents and familiarizing yourself with that. These are the big topics. For me, on my personal tests, I would really focus on just means of egress and fire protection. There were tons of questions about that. And I'm confident that Kevin's going to get you there, for sure. So I'm definitely very grateful for what he's done for me, and just the impact that he made in my study and how much of a difference that made. And I actually have a partner that we do with our in our side business, and I told him that he definitely has to sign up. So,
man, well, Jack, again, it was more of a privilege to work with you, because the purpose of this whole movement is to see this result, is for you to win and get on to the next stage. So I thank you for trusting us. And I mean, my last words to this is, man, congratulations, bro. You did the work. It wasn't us. You did the work. And man, I'm so proud of you, bro. I don't want to tear up because I don't even know you like that, but for real, bro, it's that much. I get goosebumps just even, seeing this and seeing the smile on your face and knowing that it affected not only you, but your family members, and it took on a legacy, because that's what it's about in this industry. We have to stick together, bro. Like it's not a contractor jealousy, hate thing. It's really about building up a resource, right? Or building up a village to where when you need something, you can always reach back, or you can always reach back and help someone too. So thank you again. And I'm not going to hold you up much longer, but I do want to tell everyone this. It has been a pleasure, and this guy has put the work in. So if you haven't taken anything from this video, the one thing I will tell you is you should have taken the determination and seen what he has actually put in to get this done. So I thank you guys for tuning in to Contractor Envy. And all I want to tell you is do what you do best, and